It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we get to watch Brian Robinson Jr. He had a nice effort a week ago with a pair of touchdowns. It's the Commanders and the Saints under the lights on Monday night.
We are down on the bayou as you get a look inside the Superdome here in New Orleans. But tonight, it's a good Week 9 matchup here on a Monday night, as it'll be the Washington Commanders taking on the New Orleans Saints. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
I loved our discussion this week. You know, we had our weekly...
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And there's a short one taken in by Otten. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. They'll look to throw here. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Here comes the Saints punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And Washington will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. So here's Washington now in excellent field position to start things out. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3". And they'll begin by running the option. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down. Looking to throw. Johnson over the middle. He has Okonkwo. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Here's Johnson throwing on first down. It's Williams on the catch. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So not quite a first and goal. It's first and 10 from the 10. Back to throw. Johnson. That's caught at the 1. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. Now a first carry here for Robinson. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. The tally there, -2 yards. Brings up third down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Robinson will try to pick it up. He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down. He handed it off there, but I don't really know if he would have kept it or tried to do anything else if it would have mattered.
Yeah, it's not always a wrong read when a play gets stacked up. Sometimes they're just at the line of scrimmage. There's just too many bodies to maneuver.
And as a result, now they're looking at a 4th down. Line of scrimmage, the 2. They can still get a first down if they just get a yard out of this on 4th and very short. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Commanders' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. 3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start. Is certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. CD, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailed?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here because, to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5-5, maybe they start believing in themselves. But a loss here, that would move them to 3-6. And if that's the case, well, that boat is going to head out to the harbor with them still on the dock.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. On play action, they'll throw. And his throw here is incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Johnson on 1st down. Got his man. It's Williams. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a 1st down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson. Oh, nice move. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's another first down on a big gainer there, 33 yards.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah. Touchdown, Washington. Jahan Dotson, 28 yards. And the Commanders have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, and not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they've played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and it's now 14-0. This taken in at the goal line. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And they will set up shop with outstanding field position in the red zone at the 17-yard line. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Johnson. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
They always say that real estate is about location. Well, guess what? When it's a slant route, the quick ones, timing, timing, timing. Got to be able to lead your man with the football.
And the timing off right there. Threw it behind him. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. They'll come up now 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, they give to Robinson. Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the first down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
This offense converted once already in this first quarter. They're going to try it again here on 4th down. Looking to throw. Johnson. Touchdown! Chigakonkwo from 8 yards out. And the Commanders have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and that makes the score 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The New Orleans offense set to take over. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores. And I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
The throw over the middle taken in. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Back to throw here. Got a man and he hits him in stride. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
And we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
You talk about this Washington defense.
It's quite a unit. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window, because this is what you prepare for.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And it's Washington that scoops it up.
And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
This defense, Charles, very opportunistic here early. A second fumble recovery in this first quarter of play.
Yeah, you mentioned the right word, opportunistic and aggressive, because once they got the first fumble recovery, they were eager to get a second one, and sometimes they just come in bunches. On the flip side, they've got to figure out.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, they got him again.
Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. And he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
37 yards on the punt with no return.
And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
And Charles, they're really stringing these possessions and scores together early. We're still in the first quarter, but if they can score again here, look out.
Yeah, and as you taught me when we're broadcasting games, one word we're supposed to avoid, and that's blowout. But that's exactly what's going on here. Down 3 possessions just the first quarter. That goes beyond any worst-case scenario we might have thought coming into this game. And another touchdown here, that should eliminate any hopes for any type of a comeback.
21-0 our score after 1.
Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2.
As they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Back to Robinson now on 1st down. And he'll get this to the 32.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play. Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage. That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans.
And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're
down. You
don't
want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And he's got the hook up to Moore.
Following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Olave with his first grab, and he also has a first down.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 33-yard line.
They'll try and run this one right up the gut.
And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And a hard-earned yard there as he ran through one would-be tackler. It's 2nd down.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the 22-yard line.
They'll drop to throw. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. But, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 19.
Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. Picked off by Benjamin St-Juste. And the Commanders are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. Boy, we've seen a lot of mistakes here in this first half, and another there on the interception.
Yeah, they're certainly starting to pile up, aren't they? Because, let's face it, we expect a miscue here and there, but they're already down 3 scores and still giving the ball away. If they want to get back into this one, they've got to take care of the ball, because right now the way they're playing doesn't say a whole lot for their chances.
Set to go again. Here's Brian Robinson in the Commander offense.
He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the 2nd quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line.
Robinson up the middle. And this is going to be a Commander's first down as he gets this up past the 30.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Holding offense.
An unfortunate time for the penalty there. That cancels out a positive play from this offense.
Well, not to sound too trite or too accepting, but you and I both know.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field.
He's on his way.
And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Holding offense.
Brutal, so take away the long touchdown.
It's a cruel game sometimes, partner.
Now Johnson operating from the gun. His throw incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Johnson now looking to throw on second down.
Right side to Williams.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. Here's Johnson to throw on third down.
A short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play there on the catch and run, and it'll move the chains.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Now a give to Gibbs, running left.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 39-yard line.
Ready, go.
Back to throw. Johnson.
That's complete downfield to Okonkwo.
Touchdown, Washington.
Okonkwo
With his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Commanders continue to pull away here in this first half.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Butker on for the PAT. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And the result, a touchdown for Washington.
And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The New Orleans offense set to take over. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
And this will wind up as Saints first down as the tackle made at about the 38.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. From the 44 now, here's 2nd and 4.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And he'll go right back to Moore, complete again. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Again, he'll drop to throw.
Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. Picked off by Jamin Davis. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. Well, no surprise to see that one, partner. The league's #1 defense coming through with a huge pick six.
And it's plays like that one that have made them the most feared group to face this year. Offenses, they're trying to figure out how to work around them rather than work through them. Big-time impact playmakers scattered throughout the unit on every level, and they can change a game at a moment's notice.
Butker now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Taken at the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? How much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the board in a positive fashion? You're exactly right. It's a great opportunity to get that done.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Looking to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Emmanuel Forbes.
And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Brian Robinson Jr. making his way back onto the field.
It may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. Johnson to throw again.
That one complete out to Dotson. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts,
as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
A short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, You often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time.
And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown.
A great effort there. His second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year.
And the Commanders will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow.
And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs, and I think they're going to at least take a look at this. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for Washington, the victory moves them to 7-1 on the year.
And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin.